Hi, everybody. So I wanted to show you a couple of different things today, and this is a project that I'm working on right now. I wanted to do something cool, and I've actually have taken an STL file of a skull, and I printed it, both the maxilla and mandible and some of the skull. And in 3Shape, I designed the dentures. Now here you're seeing the bases with individual teeth that are actually going to be carded teeth that I will cement to the base, but the ones I've printed so far was just like a try-in, all monolithic, just to see how it looks and if it fits okay, and it seems to be doing fine. So right now I'm going to go through the steps on how to actually print the bases on my new ACKURETTA SOL printer. So when the files were created, so I have the maxillary base right here, and let's go ahead and actually align this one. You can probably put both of those to print at the same time. There's probably enough room. But for me, I wanted to check and make sure all the parameters are fitting good, so I'm not wasting too much resin. I want to do one at a time. So for this, we're going to open up our Alpha 3D software. That's the software that we use with the ACKURETTA printers. And here on the left-hand side, you have to choose what printer you're going to be using. I'm choosing Sol. And then resin manufacturer, the different ones here. And I'm going to be printing with Dreve or Dreve. I don't know which is the more proper way to pronounce it. And the material I'm going to be using will be the Photodent Denture Rosa Transparent. All right. Now you can either do fine, standard, or fast. I'm going to usually do standard, which is I think around 100 micron if I'm not mistaken. Now, if I press the middle wheel down, I can rotate the platform all the way around like this. So I'm going to click import, and I'm going to bring my file in. And if I roll the wheel down and up, it just zooms in and zooms out. Let's rotate it, take a look, and it's kind of centered right in the middle. It looks like it's a good position for the print. I might angle it just slightly. Now these will angle in this direction. And let me rotate again. These will angle in this direction. And these will rotate in this direction. Okay. Now for me, I'd like to print where the posterior palatal seal area is pointing all the way up and maybe with just a slight rotation. Okay. The further away from the build plate this portion is, the more better. The better the adaptation is to the model. It's what I have found to be. So now I'm going to create the supports for this particular design. And here you click on the support portion of the menu. And you have different things you can do here. Now what I like to do is just click on the structure. And then I'll click the this default arrow down. And you have different options here. Since I'm printing a denture base, all I'm going to do is actually click on net and click auto supports. I don't like to do internal supports. I don't think they're helpful in this kind of situation. But as you see right there, it just puts the supports in these areas. And what it allows it to do is actually the areas where you're going to be putting teeth in are not going to be too badly interfered with. Now, when you're positioning it like this, obviously it's going to take a lot longer to print and to process because there's 700 layers almost here. So, but once this looks like you're ready to go ahead with it, I'll click on the slice option right here, and I'll press save and slice. Now it goes to a specific folder of mine that's where I have the shortcut on the desktop. So I'll press save and slice, and it starts slicing it. Now because it has so many different layers, it will take a little bit of time to go through this process and get everything created. Now for me, it's going to take about 2 minutes to get it generated. So let's fast forward until we actually have it already sliced, because you guys don't need to sit here for 2 minutes and watch this thing go through. Okay, so now that it has saved the file, all I need to do at this point is close everything. And I open up my Google Chrome, where I have a specific shortcut for my ACKURETTA SOL, which I will click on. It will take me to my specific IP address for this printer. That's why I blurred out this area right here for you guys. Now I need to add the file. What I usually do is just click browse, and it takes me to the 3DP data. and I open this folder and click on the file, and the file will actually attach in this area right here. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Okay, once that's ready, we press ready. It's checking network, checking the connection. Now, it usually, what it does, it tells you how long it's going to take to print it. If you want to press print, you should probably go and do it on the printer, just to make sure you check everything, that you make sure that your plate is in place. I've done that before. Your resin is properly mixed and everything's ready to go. If you are absolutely sure everything's right, you can just uncheck this option and press print. For me, I'd like to go and then manually check and press printing, and then it takes about 3 hours and the base will be printed, and we'll take a look. So here, all I'm doing is I mixed up the polymer nice and well. I shook it up quite a few times, and it becomes a little frothy when you do that. So once you fill your vat, make sure you fill your vat properly so you have enough resin in there to do the print. But you have those little bubbles in there. I usually just use a hot air gun to disperse those. Then you check and make sure everything's connected, right? The build plate, make sure it's nice and tight, and then go ahead and press print. Now it starts to lower everything down. At that point, you can go ahead and close the lid. It has a special safety latch on there you want to press before closing the lid. And it's got actually shock absorbers built in so it doesn't slam the lid down. All in all, the system is built pretty well. And then I haven't had any problems with it at all. Okay, so once the platform lowers down, with this particular case, it took about over 3 hours to print. And then it will ask you, did it print well? I just press yes, take the platform off the printer, and place the whole thing right into my cleaning unit. I think this one's called the Cleanie. It's also by the same company, ACKURETTA. And it has 2 cycles that it runs. Each vat is 3 minutes. You got a dirty and a clean. After that's done, I'll take the whole thing out and I'll put it in a dehydrator for about 10 minutes. That actually evaporates the alcohol and softens the supports so you can easily remove them. Once you do that, you go ahead and place the whole thing into the curing unit. I'm using the Curie here. It has some presets in there that you can use. If you don't have the presets that you need for the particular resin you're using, contact the company and they'll probably give that to you. And as you can see right here, I'm going to press start. It starts actually flashing, and it's got LEDs on both top and bottom, which is really nice because it cures it evenly all the way through. Once you do that, you can take it out, and here you can see I'm trying to place the carded teeth in there, and having pretty good success rate. This right here is a mandible where it's already finished. Now you can see that on the mandible, the teeth, not the teeth, but the actual base is a little bit darker. That brings up an important point. If you don't use the proper protocols, which I didn't on the mandible here, and you over-cure things and you don't have the right curing unit and you don't know the right parameters, you can actually over-bake things and overheat them, and it will create changes in color and distortions as well. One thing I like about the ACKURETTA system, it comes kind of you can buy it as a package, which I have, where you have the printer, which has the presets for different resins, so you don't have to dial things in for yourself, which you can if you wanted to. I mean, if let's say, for example, you have a resin that is not part of the system, and you want to use it for that particular printer, you can dial it in and have that put in there because it is an open system. But for example, like I was using Dreve here. In US, the Dreve is not FDA approved yet. It is Canada Health approved, so you can use it in Canada. In my case, I'm using it for a demo model, so it doesn't matter. But let's say, for example, using a different resin that is FDA approved, and you want to make sure you follow all the protocols. And with ACKURETTA, with this particular system, I have the printer, I have the cleaning system, and I have the curing unit with all the parameters preset. So as far as the FDA is concerned, if I follow all of those, then it follows the FDA specifications, which is really nice. Let's say, for example, I don't do permanent restorations that I print, but if down the line you decide to do something that's going to be a class 1 type of restoration, and you want it to be permanent for the patient to wear for a while, you want to make sure to follow those things just so you have all your bases covered. And having something that ties in as a printer and a curing system really helps you out with that. Another thing I wanted to mention, the parameters that are preset in there, they're pretty solid. The prints that I've done with Dreve, and I've done one with Apply Labworks, and I think I've done GC. Everything that's been preset in there by the company has worked out really well. I didn't have to adjust anything. I didn't have any failed prints, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. Now I am being compensated by the company for this video. I just want to be uh, open about it. I don't want to hide anything, but I am giving you my honest review because I don't want to lie to you guys. If there's an issue there, that I would mention that issue. So far, the only issue I have found is that I did not have all the presets in the curing unit for the resins that I was using. But when I contacted the company, they gave me those presets right away. The only caveat being that those haven't been approved yet by the manufacturers of resin, and pretty soon that's going to be covered. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to cure properly. It will. It just doesn't have the stamp of approval from, let's see, from the German manufacturer or the Japanese manufacturer. But nevertheless, it worked out great. I did not have any problems. As far as the tech support is concerned, whenever I had questions on the Facebook group that they have, everything went great. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the printer and the whole system altogether. So hopefully this video has showed you guys some aspects of things. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and good luck.